Hi, it's Lisa again. Thanks for joining me in the next installment of the chalk art videos and tips and tricks from the professionals. I don't consider myself a professional. I actually consider myself a beginning artist doing street art contests, but I wanted to share what it takes to kind of lay out a real big drawing. And I think it's very important, even if you're doing a smaller drawing, or something, if you're going to put it on display, to plan out what you want to do. Don't just grab your chalk and run out there and just start drawing. Professionals actually do a lot of prep work before they ever arrive on a site to do their work. They find out how big their site is going to be. This is my 6x8, and I was showing you earlier about filling in space, and I just want to quickly say this is where you can see where I've put down a lot of that cheaper chalk, and then I've taken a more vibrant color and kind of filled in detail. I want you to note these lines that you see. Those were put there on purpose, and that was actually done with this grid here. You can go online and you can find a grid like this. I will try and see if I can post where I got mine from. But over here you'll actually see this is my planned drawing where I was practicing. It gave me a reference about how to draw this on that sandpaper. Now the leaf actually ended up looking a little bit different than that one, but I used this as my reference to be able to know how to put the gold look to it. So I actually did several drawings trying to figure out how to do this, but I want to get back to the grid. So this is a grid that you would use in order to do a 3D drawing. And I'll go over that maybe in a different video, but we just want to talk about the grid. So here you can see I'd like to do a rose later, so I've got it grid out to where this would be a foot, 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot. You can do that smaller. You can do maybe 6 inches for every inch, however big you want to do it, but it helps a lot to put a grid work over your drawing. Also show you, this is Camille Cremshaw, I hope I'm saying her name right. She is very famous in Utah. She wins all kinds of contests. Her and her daughter are very professional artists. You can see the quality of their work. But I want to just show you, she has used these grid lines as well. So when you're plotting out your drawing, if you put down a grid, and then it makes it so much easier, because when you're trying to do this large drawing, even if it's only a few feet, it's really hard to get those dimensions and the right things in the right spot if you're just trying to freehand it. If you're just trying to draw on a piece of paper, it's very easy to correct. But if you get this line down here wrong, and because you're going to fill from the top backward, because chalk is going to stain your clothing, it's going to get everywhere. So the best thing to do is to start at the top, work your way over, and then work your way kind of down, and then fill in this. You don't want to be working over here and then over here, or you definitely don't want to work on the bottom, and then you're going to be kneeling all over your drawing the whole time. So a lot of planning has to be done. Not only you need to lay out your grid, but you also need to start at a certain point in your grid, and you're going to start by drawing. So what I would do is I would take my square in my grid and I would start drawing in these main lines here. So I would just go and I would put in this line in a certain color, so you can kind of, she's got it mostly done here, but in my other drawing here, you can see that I went through and I drew in my leaf and just kind of filled in a color first. And that's how I kind of got it started, and I knew where my leaf was going to be. And then I went back up to this top corner and I just started filling in details and working my way down. I did put in this main line just because I want to make sure I got that in the right spot. And I had to go over that several times because I kept kneeling on it. But that is how that is done. Grids are very important. Now, and I just wanted to kind of show you. So if you had a colored picture like this, you would go and you would put your grids here, and whatever you want in your square, whether it's 6 inches or a foot, or however your dimensions are, you would put that, and you would just draw in those outlines in each of these squares, and it really will help you get a cohesive and to scale drawing. You'll be able to keep your scale as you go down. You won't end up getting bigger down here and smaller up here and having it look funky, because it is chalk art does tend to be big. So that's a little bit about grids. I'll show you the 3D grid maybe in a different video, and we're still working towards the light and the values. Thanks for watching.